Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's me again, Insane Gorilla. Welcome back to What If Deku Was a Fallen? Now, where we last left off, is is that Deku found himself wound up in jail, well, in the brig, due to suggesting that the House of Red Hearts don't go radio silent and not collect any stuff to be turned into ether for the little ones, as the Fallen would call them. The careless of the Red Hearts threw him in jail, and they all continued the salvage operations. Madaraka and two other Fallen, which you lot can name, agreeing with Deku saying that they should really not be salvaging due to the fallen House of Devils. Unfortunately, also in the last episode, the fallen House of Devils found them and gave them 2 days to give them a reply on whether yes, they will join the House of Devils or not. And, well, there's going to be a little bit of a twist to this part. As, well, as the 2 days come past, the outpost of the Red Hearts have another greeting from the House of Devils and the squad that saw them last time. The House of Devils burst through saying, "We want answer now. 2 days have passed, so we want answer. Join or die." As they all don't speak to each other for a while, the House of Devils captain just simply says, "We are waiting for you to give us an answer. So, what will it be?" As the Red Heart's Kell simply says, "Screw your house. It's nothing but conniving backstabbers who will betray at an instant." So our answer is a no. As well, the captain of the House of Devils just snarls as he says, "Then you all choose death." As a small firefight happens. Deku just can't really do anything because he's got no weapons himself. As he just sits there and listens as the firefight happens. As it just stops. All of a sudden, with, well, the makeshift cell for Deku just crumbles down as he sees Madaraka and all the others on the floor, along with the House of Devils. As, well, 2 individuals then walk through a opening saying, "So the Fallen decided to kill themselves. Now let's have a look at the house color. This new house color, shall we?" Agent 2, we're here for a reconnaissance mission. So, and yes, let's just see the house colours. Yeah, Agent 1, I got it. For hidden operatives like ourselves. What the hell was that? For hidden operatives like ourselves, we sure do have to do the lackey jobs, don't we? As his comrade just punches him in the arm, saying, "If you weren't an exo, I would seriously punch you in the face, or rip off your helmet and punch you in the face." Yeah, whatever. Women. Do you seriously want to say that to my face? Just did. Oh, you're a piece of work. As they just look at all the fallen, noticing that there's another fallen in a cell. As Agent 2 says, well. Looks like the fallen had a prisoner, one of their own. Same house colours by the looks of it. There's all these ones on the floor. Whoops. All of them look awfully frail, though. Apart from the House of Devils. The House of Devils look like they're alright. These ones with the red and black. Well, red covering most of their bodies, and a few black. It doesn't make sense. As well, as they move over to Deku, he just backs up into a corner. As well, they don't really detect or hear another fallen get up, or a group of them. As the Guardians sort of like say, "This is pathetic," as Deku just says, "Not exactly," as he points behind them as they get run through. Like a curry and shot in the face afterwards. As they remove their house colours. As Deku just says, "Why remove house colours? Not fallen." Like. As Uraraka just says, "Me and these two decided on something. The rest of our house is done for. With a Kel that will not move their scaredy little ass into gear and do what's right for a house, then choosing to fight the House of Devils. We choose Exile," as she tears the whole makeshift cell apart, hitting the side of the cave that they were in, as a bit of it crumbles away, revealing a small passageway. As they could hear some breathing. Deku then looks in, seeing two eyes looking at him, as he sort of jumps back in stunned amazement and sort of screams, like saying, "Yikes!" as he falls on his ass. Uraraka quickly runs over to see what was in there, to realise that there was a small human child with quite a few adults. As they break down the makeshift cover to reveal that there's literally around about 20 civilians in there. all of them are actually scared and say, "No, no, the fallen, they found us." As one of them stands up and stands in front of them, saying, "If you want these civilians, you're gonna have to kill me." As they see Uraraka, well, Uraraka, they don't know her real name, they just see the fallen, tear off their house colours and throw them aside, including Deku. As they say, "Follow us. We keep you safe for now, for as long as we can." And they follow. All of them picking up the House of Devils and the House of Red Hearts weapons. And, well, this is where they have a bit of a run-in with the Hive. And this is a big Hive force, with a Hive Knight leading them. As the Fallen and the civilians that they found, accidentally, fight the Hive, the two hidden get revived as they see a bunch of civilians fighting alongside the Fallen, and realizing that these Fallen have removed their colours, as they could sort of see the pile of house colours. As they run next to the Fallen and civilians and start firing, as they say, "Well, what's the plan?" It's, well, one of the Fallen dregs just looks and says, "Ghouls!" As, well, Deku just says, "Don't worry about them just yet, we've got a bigger problem than them." As the, well, Agent 1 and Agent 2 of the Hidden reports it to the Vanguard saying, "Mayday, mayday, mayday, this is Agent 1 and Agent 2 reporting straight to Ikora Ray of the Vanguard. Need immediate backup due to Hive, and there's a group of civilians here as well, being protected by us and a group of factionless Fallen. Repeat, factionless Fallen." Ikora Ray then, well, had on loudspeaker as they hear, "Fallen, huh? Fallen that out? She don't have house colors? Oh, this is just too rich. Yo, Zavala, let me go and deal with them." "Cade, no. For God's sake, Cade. For goodness sake, Cade. You are a Vanguard member. You stay in the tower." "Ah, come on. I gotta go and stretch my legs sometimes." "Enough, Cade." "Alright, fine." As Ikora just chuckles, saying, "You two, seriously? This is a bad time for me to be chuckling as well. Okay, send in the Guardian team that's in the area." "Agreed. Agreed." "Fine, send them in. It would have been fun if I could go." "Enough, Cade." "Alright, Zavala." "God damn it. Quick, somebody jump in so I can quickly disappear." "I heard that, Cade. Damn it." As well, a few hours later, they get a name, well, a word getting spoken, Recipro Burn. As they see a fast ass Guardian running through all the hive, kicking and punching them. Then pulling out a shotty and shooting one in the Goonies. Now, I don't think the hive have nuts, but I think that's gonna hurt. Especially for a hive who just had his conkers shot off. Ouch. As they see a hunter turn up, throwing blades out of his wrist, saying, "Come on, you guys. There's 3 of us here now. If you want to eat something, come and snack on me, because you're definitely not going to be snacking on them." As he just says in a cocky attitude. One more turning up, throwing lightning and throwing nova bombs everywhere. As she just says, "Shut up and fight, Kirishima. Ida, get your ass back in line." "But there are civilians. I must go and help the civilians." As this warlock just says, "Shut up, get back in line. That's an order." Jesus Christ. For the love of the traveller, Momo. And yes, it's Momo and Tenya Ida and Kirishima. As they all fight through the hive, getting to the fallen and the civilians, including the 2 hidden. And, well, during that time, Deku took a shot to the right kidney and to the left arm. So he's in a bit of pain. But Rucker took one straight to the knee. "I used to be an adventurer like you until I took an arrow to the knee." If somebody gets that meme, good on you. As well, the last of the hive get mopped up. The only thing that's left is the knight, and well, he didn't particularly last too long. As they sort of talk among themselves, as they then hear chatter or a scream from the fallen as a flare goes up. Then they see a bright light appear in the sky as as their coach, I don't know, as it then goes boom, and the ghost says, "It's a ketch, and it's this close to the surface? Move!" As they all run towards the, civilians and the hidden agents and the fallen. They're all not really being very glad to see the fallen, but happy to know that they were fighting alongside them to keep them all safe. As the ketch goes overhead and the ghost gets a glimpse of its house banner, it says, "Oh no. House Devil. It's the House of Devils." As, well, Uraraka and Deku just say, "Oh, great. Just what we need. More of the devils. This may be the end. We can't fight them forever." As well, this is when a little surprise turns up. A ketch belonging to the House of Exiles turns up. Now, you're most probably wondering why the House of Exiles are there. Well, let's say this, they were being a little bit sneaky and trying to find more salvage. After all, they were fighting the hive. On the moon! And said, we were monitoring your communications. We won't say that you were working alongside humans if you come and work work with us. As the House of Devils turn up, then all of them get into a firefight. Uraraka, Deku, and the other two, two fallen, that were there, agree, but saying we'll only work with you for now. We will not join the House of Exiles. As they say, it's fair enough. You don't have to always join us. But just know, when you do decide to leave, and if we call you to help us, we expect you to repay your debt. As they all agree. As, well, the Fallen help Deku limp over to the skiff, as the Guardians deal with the Fallen, House of Devils. They then go straight to the moon and give Deku and Uraraka immediate first aid. And because they're so thin, they give them all a lot of ether, saying, how bad is it with your former house? As they say, bad enough. Bad enough that I was thrown into. Well, Deku says this. He just says, bad enough that I got thrown into jail for suggesting something. As these House of Exiles look at him saying, and what was that of? As he says, suggesting going radio silent and not salvaging stuff for young ones, for when they are born. I chose to let a new generation die so the older generation can move on. Or the semi-older generation to fight on. Best for them to fight on than for whole house to be wiped out. If you understand what I mean. The fallen, the House of Exiles who came to help him understood, saying, so that's why you're thrown in jail. You wanted to defend your house, even if you had to be heartless. Am I correct? Or are we correct? As Deku just nods his head, saying yes. As Uraraka chimed up, saying, he wasn't the only one who. He wasn't alone. Me and the other two agreed with him. As the other fallen, nod, saying, yes, we agreed. Due to house numbers small, we may not have been able to survive long as a house if we kept on salvaging. He made right decision, hard decision, much better than Kel of Red Hearts did. We be more than honored to follow his example. As they touch down on the moon at the main base of the House of Exile. Now, they don't follow a kill, so everybody does what the fuck they want. Uraraka being somewhat of a baroness still, but without the house colours, they just give her a green cloak saying, For now, you are House Exile. We fight together as one. But when you decide to leave, return House Colors. As a new chapter in Deku's life happens. He's finally growing, so he's not malnourished, and he can finally plan some payback on his adoptive sister. As a few months go by, he finally reaches the rank of, well, a vandal. Finally. As he and Uraraka, who's actually now the height of a captain, find it easier to fight with House of Exiles due to their to their nature of being sneaks and slippery, should I say. This kind of slippery buggers to get people's hands on. As well, Uraraka then finds herself in a bit of a conundrum. Her Deku and two other Fallen have stuck together for so long that they know each other inside and out through their tactics. And a few people have started following Deku around, making his own little posse, along with the other two, including Uraraka. She doesn't have a big group, unlike Deku, because I'm going to explain. During one of Deku's runs to an outpost with Uraraka, he lured a huge hive force out of its tunnels as sort of a strategy to clean them out so they can get more ether rations. And, well, materials to make ether rations, I should really say. He lured them out by making a huge bunch of a huge ruckus, causing thousands of hive to rush out at him. He's sort of doing his damnedest to run, as a hive tomb ships, 3 hive tomb ships, came out of, well, the quite literal black sky. Because space, you can't really see things. Anyway, they come out of, as I said, absolutely nowhere, disgorging hundreds more hive. As Deku was continuously running, more and more hive joined in the pursuit as he got to the outpost. The outpost was decently prepared for them, but not prepared for that amount of numbers. It's miraculous, according to some, that they survived, but they noticed Deku as putting himself out on the front line, even standing there with a rifle and a kakuri blade, shooting and stabbing any hive that gets too close. It got to the point where a lot of House Exile started to leave their fortifications and shoot at the hive in the open. Now, that was until 3 ogres appeared with some sort of dog creature behind them. as they can only describe it as a walking artillery piece. Now, Deku actually rushed to destroy it, along with the House of Exile members who were actually there. Uraraka went with him a few minutes later, along with the others, after clearing out the remaining hive from the battlefield, only to find Deku smacking the thing like a tin can, or smacking the thing like a fish, like a bear with a fish in its mouth. He was trying his hardest to shake that Anoga to pieces, but he ended up just stabbing it in the forehead because he realised that he's not that strong. He was just being cocky and showing off. Result, him nearly getting shot by the other ogres. So he mainly has a reputation of being a cocky bastard and being damn good at being cocky. But he's still one hell of a fighter. So that's why he has a bit of a entourage now following him. And a lot of them actually start realising that he is much more of a, well, frontline brawler, but he does like using tactics to try and surprise the enemy. Okay, it doesn't work very well with the hives, it could work very well against the cabal, but enough about them, they don't turn up until another few episodes. As well, there's a little bit of a problem. Because now they have to go and deal with another hive group. Because of the ether now that they have enough for everybody. Because the hive that came charging out of one barrow, then several, they were all linked into one big nest. And they just somehow managed to clean out the entire nest with that one sneaky attack. Or defense, or whatever you like to call it. So now they have enough, literally enough bloody scrap to turn into ether and to make into more armor and weapons, including building materials. Deku starts dabbling in the arts of smithing as he starts making himself some new armor. As, well, a bunch of captains come along saying, "Yo, Deku, how would you like to be a Dreg? How would you like to become a Vandal instead of a Dreg? After what we saw, you proved yourself more tenacious than a typical Dreg. So how about Vandal position? Because you've already got people following you." As Deku just says, "I'll mull it over," as he continues working. As they just ask him, what is he working on? As he just says, "Yeah, some armor for myself, because I'm still wearing my old house armor, so I'm going to make myself some new armor. It's not going to be as good as this, but you never know. Could prove useful. I'm only working on the leg parts at the minute, because it's my leg armor that's mostly gone, so just working on my legs at the minute." As they say, "Alright, if you need any help, just ask someone else to help you." As he said, "I will." I'll be back, guys.